Hi everyone. As part of IPO's Leadership Development Committee, I would like to introduce our first video series. We will start out the series with 4 videos called Conversation with Leaders, where a committee member has a quick chat with an IPO leader. I hope you enjoy and watch for more to come in the future. Thanks.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in today. I'll be speaking with Karen Cochran, a very special person for our organization, and I can't wait the insights she has to share with us. As you likely know, Karen is IPO's current serving president, a position she has held since the beginning of this year. And Karen has been active with IPO for the past 15 years and has been on the IPO's board of directors since 2016. Karen's currently an IP general counsel at Shell Oil Company, Corporation, but has in fact spent most of her in-house career at a pharmaceutical industry. And first, Karen worked at Sonos Pharmaceuticals, then followed by nearly 10 years at AstraZeneca, and finally followed by several years at DuPont before she moved on to Shell Oil. Welcome, Karen. Thank you for your time today. Great to speak with you. Is there anything you'd like to share to start this conversation?
No, I'm super happy to do this interview with you, Irina. It's also nice to be able to meet you, and I think I'm very happy to share what little insight I have or don't have, but I think it's always a great learning experience just to be able to share, to hear myself, but also to hear back and hear the feedback. So yeah, thanks for inviting me.
That's fabulous. Thank you. So some questions that we have for you, and of course, we're willing to quiz you on any number of subjects. But how would you define leadership? What does leadership mean to you?
So it's a tough question, right? Because once I remember raising how important leadership was to me to someone who reported to me, and they said, well, I looked it up online and there are like 1,000 definitions, and it is true. But I think for me, it's really been about supporting other people. And I do believe in something that I've heard of as an expression called servant leadership, where you're really taking care of the people that are in your team, and you're helping to give them a better growth opportunity as they move along their career, but also generally to support them and clear the path for them to do their best. So for me, leadership is really about the people that are in my team and focusing on them and being the best that I can be to clear the path and help them to achieve what they want to achieve.
That's fantastic. We can all take away something from that, and very cool goal to live by and lead by. And what about some of the lessons you might have learned from the leadership style of others, or successes and failures, maybe your own even?
Yeah, oh, for sure. I think, yeah, I mean, maybe I'll start in my own career. I think a lot of us, especially in the law, we don't always see examples of what leadership is supposed to be, in the legal profession, because we are so interested in serving our clientele, whether you're in-house or you're in private practice, that sometimes we're always thinking about somebody else we have to, the client we have to take care of. I don't think we always think about our colleagues within the legal profession. Mm-hmm. But my early career, what I had seen, and maybe even what I emulated too, because it's all I knew, was this concept of like command and control, right? Like, so you take, if you're in-house, you take your associate and you tell them what to do, and if you're in-house, you tell the people who report to you what to do, and that lasts for as long as you're paying attention, and then when you turn around, I don't think people they don't want to report up, or they don't want to be in an environment like that. So I think one of the things that I hope I learned early on, but at least I tried to have an awareness of and move away from, is that concept of just constantly telling people what to do. And it's it's a tough one, right? Because the more experience that you get in this profession, the more you want to share those experiences and share that benefit to other more junior people who might be junior people on your team. But I think as you move along the continuum of your career, even as a leader and a manager, I'll use that expression, but as you're managing other people, sometimes the people that you are reporting to you have more experience as a lawyer than you do, right? And that happens quite often in-house. And and I think those people need to really feel, as I mentioned before, that you're clearing the path for them and helping them to be able to do the things that they need to do, whether it's their work, clear red tape, or just make a path for them to be their best. So I think one of the lessons learned for me is just maybe always have an awareness when you're getting into the command and control zone and how that really disengages people.
Yes. These are very valuable insights, Karen. I couldn't agree more. And especially when you mentioned that we really aren't taught leaderships, in particular in law school environment. Yes, stepping into, say, a partnership role or, taking on a client portfolio definitely carries with itself a lot of responsibilities to other people, as well as, passing down some of the tasks. And so, yeah, it's navigating that carefully and mindfully is very critically important. Lastly, but not least, what would, if you had any advice for some of us aspiring leaders, in addition to some of the things that we've already discussed, is there any advice you're willing to impart?
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot, and I try to put it in the context of what I wish somebody would have told me, right? So that's how I'll say it. I think one, and probably a lot of lawyers don't need to be told this, but do your best at what you have in front of you today, right? I think I know I could get like this myself, but we're in a profession again that's eager and anxious to succeed, and I think we can all that resonates with all of us. But I think it's important to keep your eye on where you want to go, but really do a great job in the work that you have in front of you, because it's your reputation, it's your name, and it's what people associate with in terms of your performance. So I'd say, as a start, don't take your eye off what you have in front of you today. And I think a second one, it's okay to explore where you want to go. I think that's another one too, right? So I know I'm intentionally being provocative because I'm saying something that feels like it's a conflict, but I think it's okay if you want to, for instance, a lot of people, they're not sure. Do they want to aspire to be a partner or to move up in private practice, or do they want to be in-house, and do they want to lead other lawyers? And I think there's nothing wrong with any direction you choose, but it's okay to take steps, and think about how you want to accomplish those goals, over the course of like bite-sized pieces, like a year or 2 years from now, and take steps to move in those directions. So I'd say that's another one, and that can be very specific, very personal to where you want to go. But I think that's another one to keep moving, right? Mm-hmm. And then I would say for the last one, and this is hard. I mean, I find myself always, struggling to do it. You don't have to do it all at once, right? that's
bite-sized pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's bite-sized pieces, right? Because I think that last one, I know myself, I've just tripped up with this so many times. Like I'm like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I've got 10 things going at the same time, and I'm to blame for 60% of why they're all in the air at the same time, right? So I know people talk a lot about work-life balance. I think you have to do a little bit of introspection as to whether or not you create some of it more than you need to, right? So maybe those are my 3 things, right? Try to do your best at what you have in front of you today in a balanced way, right? Keep your eye on where you want to go and take it in bite-sized pieces, and then that last one, take it in bite-sized pieces. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Especially that last point resonates with me so much. I've had to make adjustments on the fly about how I do things, and the things that I thought I knew about myself and how I time manage, or
you're not alone.
Balance it has been quite the dialing in process, and ongoing because the needs and the wants and the desires are always changing. And
yeah, it's a great point. I mean, maybe just to add to that, I think this is a strange observation, but I've noticed it with myself, and I see it with some other lawyers as well, right? Because we're dealing in so many very complex matters, it's sometimes the menial tasks, like even things you do at home, right? Like I'm going to do the laundry, I'm going to do X or Y, I'm going to, get this repaired or whatever. I think I tend, and I notice a lot of lawyers tend to do it, like you minimize how long those seemingly menial tasks will take, because you're constantly operating a very complex, whether it's a big deal you're doing or you have a patent application. I mean, those are complex, concepts that you need to sit down and pay attention to. But when it's the laundry or when it's, picking up your kids or all these, like you think, okay, I know I can do, I can accomplish this, accomplish that. And in the end, that takes time too, right? And if you try to do all of those 5 things all in one afternoon, you will inevitably, strain yourself, and it's common. It's common for us, right? So yeah, it's I don't have it figured out. I just spot the issue.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, that's the job, right?
True.
No, thank you so very much, Karen. It is the utmost pleasure meeting you. Hearing your insights is completely invaluable. So thank you very much for your time. We hope to see you again on one of our little segments, and with more insights. And thank you for your leadership over the years with IPO. And we greatly appreciate the balancing act you have to do in order to accomplish it all.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me, Irina. Thanks to the committee. Take care.